What's up, guys? So I decided to do a question and answer video just about my book because it's been out for a couple months and I haven't done one of these, so it's about time, right? If you want to read my book and haven't, you might not want to watch this video. I'm not gonna pick questions that spoil anything, but you know, if you want to read a book and just have like a clear slate and not expect anything, then don't watch this video. Also, I've had a lot of people ask me if they can get a signed copy of my book, and I actually don't physically ship my book out, but I ordered some in, and I only have like 8 of them right now because I didn't know how well they would sell. So if any of you guys want to get a signed copy of my book, there will be a link to a specific store right down there, and you can grab a copy and I'll personalize it. Just write your what you want me to do in the notes section of your order, and yeah, if these sell out, I'll get a handful more in, and I'll keep selling them this way. But I hated saying no to people. It's like I truly have no way of signing your book. So there you guys go. If you want to get a copy of my book, get it from the store down below and it'll be signed. If not, you can go to andyschrock.com. That's the best way to buy it, just the normal way, if that makes sense. But if you get a signed copy, make sure you put your name in the notes section so I know who to write like my little thing to. So there you go. Let's do questions right now. I have to answer this question first right off the bat. Kevin asks, what of it is real? I've had that question in my mind since I read it. Well, the book, I've always said, is like a work of fiction, mainly because I didn't want people like reading it and being like, oh my gosh, who did this and that? I didn't want people to relate it to people in real life, because like every character in the book is based on someone in real life. But when it comes to like my story, the book is like 98% of like how my life happened. The events in the book are like an exact replica of what happened in my life, or I like reworked them just to fit to the story. But like, I mean, I didn't change anything that like was majorly affected the story at all. So I changed things that were like just kind of keep the story flowing without confusing you guys too much. So I mean, if you read the book, aside from the ending, the last chapter is reworked to like kind of like have an impact on the reader. I'm not talking about that, but everything up to the last chapter is like exactly how my life went down, kind of more or less. So don't read it and be like, oh my gosh, Andy said this at this time. It's not like that, but it gives you a good idea of exactly what I went through. Tim May Jr. asks, will there be a sequel about your life now? And have you thought about doing a movie? That'd be awesome if someone made a movie. I'm not going to do it personally, but I would be open to the idea. And I don't know if there's going to be a sequel about my life right now. I feel like there's 4 phases of my life, like eras, if you may, and I kind of want to write a book about all 4 of those times in my life. The first one being Yesterday Erased. And I don't know if I'm going to release them all. That's kind of like for more like personal reasons. But I really think there will be another book about my life out there. Like, I don't know which one it's going to be, but stay tuned. I definitely have more books I've written which are not about my life, but I'm not done writing in the very least. Like, I want to end up on a beach somewhere writing books eventually. My dude Daniel Policelli asks, is Wes in the story? Wes Pritchard, also Alex B. No, they came on later in life. I knew who they were at that period of time, but I never skated with them a lot. You know, if I write more about my life, they'll probably be in the future books. John says, where at the end of the book does it begin to be untrue? And it's pretty much like the last chapter. In a lot of ways, I mean, it's exactly what I was feeling and what I was kind of going through, but it definitely did not happen exactly how it goes down in the book. I'm not going to like really elaborate on that right now, but I'll do another question and answer video where I say like, hey, you know, I will say whatever, answer whatever question. Right now I don't want to say too much because a lot of people haven't gotten the book yet. So, to be continued. Adam says, did you really make a skate team and produce and sell videos? Did you really sell a lot and get sort of famous? Yes. I don't know if we say famous, but people noticed us on the streets. We came to school with like 100 to 200 skate videos and sold out within one day. We had like $1,600 to $2,000, and we bought a handful of skateboards and got those made. It was nuts. Like, it was crazy in high school. And yeah, like we went to California and people knew who we were, like on the other side of the country. So yes, that's exactly how it happened in real life. Matthew says, is it gay? So everyone go onto Facebook, and I guess maybe someone needs to talk to Matthew Klassen because he's had some insecurities about sexuality in books. I don't know. Tanner says, when did you first think, hey, I should write a book about my life? Well, I was very, very depressed. And I was just going through this time in my life. Actually, when I started writing the book was kind of like the end of the book. Like, when you read the book and you get to the end, you're like, alright, so that's when he started writing this. But I was reading Harry Potter at the time, and like, Harry Potter just blew me away. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best book ever. So I was like, you know what, it made me want to write, so I was like, I gotta write this story, that everything that I just went through growing up. So that's how it went down. Kendrick says, can you show a picture of Mike? And I'm not going to show a picture of Mike. I will talk to him, and if he's okay with it, I'll do it in my next question and answer video of Yesterday Erased. But I will say that he is on my channel somewhere, so some of the people might know who he is out there, but right now I'm not going to say anything or show anything. JD Beaver says, why don't I have this book? And it's because you did not purchase it or borrow it from a friend, or I guess steal it would be the other option. Don't steal it though. Borrow it from a friend or buy it. One of those two. John McDonald asks, has Wes been in any of your videos? If so, which one? Yes. He was in A Day in the Life. That is all I will say. But it's not Wes Pritchard. I know probably a million people are confused about that. Wes Pritchard is not in the book. Amanda Marie says, when do you plan on telling all your fanboys and girls who Sky is? You should publish that story immediately. And she is a friend, and she knows who Sky is. That's from another book, or a series that I wrote, which is on the back burner right now, so Amanda, sit tight. She's actually read the book already. But so one day you guys will hear about my other writing project, but right now my lips are sealed, and so is hers. Unless you ask her, she might tell you, I don't know. Ricky says, was your wife in the book? No, she was not in that era. Well, she kind of was in that era, but she wasn't in my life at the time, and she will be in a future book, which will be a lot happier and brighter. Joseph says, what made you name yourself Drew Thomas in the book? And honestly, because my name is actually Andrew, I was like, sure, I'll name him Drew. And then I got Thomas because I really looked up to Jamie Thomas at the time. He's one of my favorite skateboarders growing up, so I just, honestly, it is weird. That's really how I just threw it together. So, Drew Thomas, that worked. Jordan says, was it hard to keep motivating yourself to continue to write? Did you ever want to give up? And it took me a long time to write it, but no, I never wanted to give up. It's an awesome experience writing a book, and you're attached to it, and you're invested in it, and when you finally write it and finish it, it's just like one of the coolest feelings you'll ever experience in your life. So, it's definitely hard, but you just got to make sure you write a little bit no matter what every single day. You sit down and write every single day. So that's what kept me going, is having like kind of a schedule. I would be up till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. a lot of times. Are you coming to hang out? Are you? Alright, you can do that. Chris asks, was Al in the book Brian Ames, or what characters in the book represented who? And yes, Brian Ames is the one person that I've actually come out and said Al is Brian Ames in the book. So you could probably tell that kinda if you read the book. And I mean his name is Al Bames, and then Brian's name is Brian Ames. Like, it's pretty obvious, but that's Brian Ames, and I'm proud to say that. He's been my brother for a long time. Alright, and last question, PJ Martin asks a few here actually. He says, was a backside board slide really your first trick? And why did you decide to end it the way you did? Also, you've said you have written other books. Are they anything like this one? Okay, first off, backside board slide was my first trick. I used to like put the board upside down and make it spin as I jumped up and landing back on it, but like my first trick that I meant to do, board slide, yes. I decided to end it the way I did because I really wanted to have an impact on the reader. Like, I feel like if a book you read it and then you're just like, oh, okay, well that was cool. Like, there's something wrong. You gotta read a book and you gotta like close it and you just gotta be like, I gotta think about that, you know? Like, so I wanted to have an impact, and that's why I ended it the way I did. And then about my other books, I've written a fantasy series. I've written 3 books so far in it, and it's going to be a total of 5 books, I believe. It's about like a war on Earth between demons and angels, and they like recruit humans. And you know me, I'm like a big nerd. I'm into like Final Fantasy, I'm into Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, all that stuff. So I wrote my own fantasy series, and it needs a lot of work, so it's on the back burner for now, but one day, if you stay with my channel long enough, you'll hear about it. It's called End of Days. That's the series. But that's it, guys. I want to thank everyone who's bought my book and said all the nice things. Like, I get so much awesome feedback on it, and it really is like one of the things that just makes me feel really good, because I want my book to get out there, and just, I don't know, it's just a really cool feeling to know that it's actually helping people out there. So thank you guys for supporting me and help spreading the word and sharing it with your friends and everything you do. But if you want to know more about my book, I'll link you to like one of the videos that when I first released it. So there'll be a link at the end of this. But for now, I'm going to go. Also, my Facebook will be right down there. I'll do another one of these in a couple months or so, and I'll answer whatever question you guys have. I will hold no fact unturned. I'm done talking. Goodbye.